Agger's View is brought to you by PureMTGO.com and MTGOTraders.com. So we're here to Deck Tech Illusions, and I can't believe the deck did this well in the daily, as you'll see. So let's go over the basics here. Basic lands, all the way through. Fetch lands might be in here. Probably should have fetch lands for your ponders. But at the same time, not having any search effects means you're a lot better against all the mill decks running around. So there's that. And it is a budget option too. I just ran this guy's list straight up, I didn't make any changes myself. But I want to go over how he did this. The Halimar Depths here, one of, shouldn't be too much of a problem on your mana, and it actually becomes relevant if you like copy a Primeval Titan, which I've done. I did multiple times today. Pretty basic tectonic edges there to mess your opponent's lands. You have your drawing package because you need to hit your combo in this deck, and the combo, usually you need to hit your combo, is these two cards. So you need to resolve a Phantasmal Image while there's Lord of the Unreal on board. If you do, this guy makes the rest of your deck amazing, because this is the weirdest warding on a Lord I've seen. He's not an illusion, as you'll note. He is a human wizard. He only helps other illusions, so he won't help himself. Illusion creatures have +1/+1 hexproof. If you have a way to give this guy illusion, he actually buffs himself, which most lords don't do. They always say other creatures. The funny thing is, if you play this guy as this guy, you get the combined effect. He becomes a 3/3 human wizard illusion, hexproof. So for the rest of your illusions, the rest of the game are going to have hexproof. They're all going to get +1/+1. So the only way your opponent's going to get rid of this guy is combat, and you're not going to put this guy into combat unless you have to, or sacrifice effects, or 3 damage board wipes like Slagstorm, or Wrath of God effects. So after this guy resolves, this guy is a 6/6 for 4 hexproof, so that's a Sphinx RL on the cheap. This guy is an insane clone, +1/+1 clone with hexproof. Phantasmal Bear is a 3/3. He's a Wild and Call Shroud. This guy doesn't actually. He only benefits whenever you play something, and he'll always be weak on your opponent's turn. This guy is horrible on your opponent's turn, so there's that. And we'll go over him again later. But it just turns all your guys into super huge, beefy, hexproof dudes if you can resolve this combo. That's like the main thing the deck's trying to do, is trying to get one of these and follow up with one of these. So sometimes you have to bide your time, wait for them to tap out, and then play both of them on the same turn. There's a lot of different options coming up. Spell Pierce and Mana Leak there to slow down your opponent while you're trying to do what you're doing. As I said, the 8 Ponders and Preordains to help find your combo. Renegade Doppelganger is really interesting. It leads to a lot of extremely broken hands or extremely horrible hands. I had one game where I had 3 of these in play and an image in my hand, but I didn't have anything to attack it with, so we sat there for like a turn or so. But then he played a Primeval Titan, so I Phantasmal Images, Primeval Titan, get 2 lands. These guys all become Primeval Titans, swing all of them, swing for 18, get 6 lands, get a bunch of Tectonic Edges and the Halimar Depths at the end. And I set up the win off of that. It was pretty awesome. So there's a lot of cool synergies in here. This guy is probably the weakest, and he's the most variable card. Like, he's insane sometimes. He does well with clones, but other times he's just bad. I mean, sometimes you can play him and then drop this guy afterwards, and he becomes like a 5/5 dragon. I mean, that's not horrible, but he still has the illusion ability, so he'll still be targeted, etc. I mean, if they had a way to target him, they probably would have killed him. He's a 0/1. But it's really interesting. You can put a good clock on your opponent. You got some counter magic to back things up. It's not the most consistent deck, but it definitely has the power to get there. In the sideboard, Spellskite's amazing. It protects your Lord of the Unreal. It does not protect your illusions, because once they're targeted, they're dead anyways. Neurocommando, I think it's the weakest card in the sideboard. I didn't ever really want to bring it in. I can't think of a matchup where it's insane in. Like, it's okay against Pyromancer Ascension, I guess, but that is still a 3 mana sorcery threat, so that's interesting. Blast Freeze against Valakut and the like. And tournament league some of these post sideboard against red too, so you can snag any excess lightning bolts, and they have like 4 mana in play towards your head. Middle Misstep is good against red too. It's great against a lot of decks that are trying to or discard spells decks. So this card's amazing. It's banned in a modern already. It just shows you how good the card is. It's certainly not as good as standard as it is in modern, but the point is it's pretty insane. So that's the deck. The deck's pretty amazing. It was really fun to play, but you can also just draw dead too. I mean, you have a lot of cards that need your opponent to have somebody else in play, and if you just draw a bunch of like bears and dragons and they have like a Cunning Spark Mage, you're like, oh, like this guy's horrible against Cunning Spark Mage too. So I mean, it's certainly not the most strong deck out there in terms of solidness. It's not the most solid deck for sure. But if you want to try it out, it's pretty budget. I don't think there's an expensive card in here at all. No, there's not an expensive card in here at all. I mean, this is all cheap. I mean, Spellskite's the most expensive card, and it's on the sideboard. So I mean, it's pretty important, but it's not a must-have. If you want to go budget even more, I want it for sure. But, yeah, well, I think that's it, and I will talk to you later. Ciao.